The snow was coming down so heavily that it was hard to see the beautiful Aurora in front of me. We had been driving for hours and hadn't seen another car since we left Reykjavik. The plan was to get as far out of the city as possible and then hike up a mountain to get above the tree line for a clear view of the northern lights. But with this blizzard, it didn't look like we were gonna make it. Just then, I saw a sign for a glass igloo up ahead. It looked like the perfect spot to take shelter from the storm. Just as I was about to turn into the parking lot, a sleek black SUV pulled in ahead of me. I recognized the driver. It was Baldur, my biggest rival. I couldn't believe he'd come all this way just to take photos of the storm. I decided to kill two birds with one stone and headed straight to the igloo. As the wind howled outside, I set up my camera gear inside the cozy igloo. It was going to be a long night, so I made myself comfortable and started browsing through photos on my laptop. That's when I heard a loud crash and turned to see Baldur standing in front of the shattered glass ceiling. He explained that he'd seen a massive flash of green light outside and gotten excited. He wanted to get a photo for the Aurora through the glass ceiling, but I stopped him. There was no way we were gonna make it through the night without that roof. So we spent the next few hours shooting the beautiful Aurora together, talking about everything and nothing. As the sky began to lighten, I got to work patching up the glass ceiling, and once it was repaired, we headed out into the blinding snow to search for a safe place to camp. We found a small cave with a mound of snow piled up in front of it, making it impossible for us to see inside. So I did the only logical thing I could think of and started digging. After a while, I felt something hard under the snow and moved it aside to reveal a wooden chest. It was old and weathered, clearly having been buried in the snow for many years. Inside was a bottle of what looked like homemade alcohol and a folded piece of paper. On it was a message written in Icelandic. It read, "Love is the only answer." I didn't speak much Icelandic, but I understood that. I looked over at Baldur, who had a surprised and somewhat shocked expression on his face. Was this some kind of joke? Had he sent this message to me somehow? Before I could question him further, though, our guide arrived. Turns out he'd been looking for us for hours. Apparently, he'd become worried when we hadn't shown up for our tour the day before. As we followed him back to his car, I noticed something strange. Baldur kept glancing at me, but it wasn't the look of a rival. It was the look of someone who had a huge crush on me. Could this blizzard have brought us together for a reason? Maybe the universe had a way of bringing people together, even if it meant burying them in snow.